Hello students. Before we move on, please like, share and subscribe the channel. In one very important information, if you want notes of this video, check the download link in the description box. Thank you. Let's start. In this video, we will study BPCC-101. Introduction to Psychology, Previous Year Question and Most Important Questions. These questions are very important for your examination. If you read all these carefully, you can definitely clear the exam. Let's begin. Question 5. Discuss the nature, scope and types of memory. Question explanation. This question asks us to explain what memory is, its nature, how broadly it can be applied in psychology and daily life, its scope, and the various kinds of memory systems such as sensory, short-term, and long-term memory. We should cover basic definitions, theoretical insights, and examples where necessary. Answer. Introduction. Memory is the process by which we encode, store, and retrieve information. It plays a fundamental role in learning, decision-making, and shaping our identity. In psychology, memory is seen as a multi-stage process involving various systems. Prominent models like the Atkinson-Shiffrin model in cognitive theories help us understand how memory functions. In this answer, we will explore the nature of memory, its wide-ranging scope, and different types of memory systems with suitable explanations and examples. Main body. 1. Nature of memory. Memory is a cognitive process responsible for acquiring, storing, and retrieving information. It involves 3 key stages: encoding, converting information into a storable form; storage, maintaining information over time; retrieval, accessing the stored information when needed. Memory can be both conscious, explicit, and unconscious, implicit. Example: remembering the capital of a country, explicit, versus knowing how to ride a bicycle, implicit. Though. Scope of memory. Memory is crucial in nearly every aspect of psychological functioning. In learning, memory helps retain information over time. In emotion, it stores emotional experiences, both pleasant and traumatic. In decision-making, it recalls past outcomes to help choose wisely. In identity, our personal memories shape our self-concept. Applications. Educational techniques like repetition and mnemonics use memory principles. Therapies for PTSD often address traumatic memory recall. AI and robotics also attempt to mimic human memory systems for intelligent functions. Types of memory. A. Sensory memory. Very brief storage of sensory information, few milliseconds. 2 main types. Iconic memory, visual. Echoic memory, auditory. Helps in perceiving the continuity of the environment. Example: after seeing a flash of light, you still see it for a moment. B. Short-term memory, STM. Holds limited information for a short period, about 20 to 30 seconds. Capacity is about 7 plus minus 2 items, Miller's law. Involved in immediate tasks like mental math or remembering a phone number briefly. C. Long-term memory, LTM. Stores vast amounts of information for a long duration, possibly lifelong. 2 main types. Explicit, declarative, memory, facts and events. Subtypes include episodic memory, personal experiences; semantic memory, general knowledge; implicit, non-declarative, memory, skills and habits; procedural memory like swimming or typing. Conclusion. To sum up, memory is a vital psychological function that allows us to learn, adapt, and grow. Its nature involves complex encoding, storing, and retrieval mechanisms. Its scope extends across behavior, learning, emotions, and technology. By understanding its various types, sensory, short-term, and long-term, we gain deeper insight into how our mind works. If you need the notes of this video, there's a download link in the description box. Be sure to check it out. Thank you. Let's see the next question. Question 6. Describe the functions of motivational concepts and explain various types of motivation. Question explanation. This question asks us to first explain the role and importance of motivation in human behavior, why it is necessary and how it functions. Then, we are required to describe the different kinds of motivation such as intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and other types if relevant. Both parts must be clearly addressed. Answer. Introduction. Motivation is a psychological force that drives individuals to act towards achieving their goals. It initiates, directs, and sustains goal-oriented behavior. Understanding motivation helps us explain why people behave in certain ways. Psychologists like Abraham Maslow and others have given important theories on motivation that guide our understanding. This answer will cover the main functions of motivation and its various types. Main body. 1. Functions of motivation. Motivation plays a central role in psychology and human life. Its primary functions include initiating behavior. Motivation helps to start an activity. For example, hunger motivates a person to cook or look for food. Directing behavior. It gives direction to our actions. For instance, a student studies to achieve good marks. The goal defines the path. Sustaining behavior. Motivation keeps the person focused and persistent even in challenges. An athlete trains daily despite fatigue. Improving performance. A highly motivated individual tends to perform better in tasks due to focus and energy. Satisfying needs. It helps in fulfilling both biological and psychological needs, such as safety, esteem, or belonging. These functions make motivation a critical concept in areas like education, work, health, and therapy. Though intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Motivation is generally divided into two broad types. Intrinsic motivation comes from within the individual, driven by personal interest, enjoyment, or curiosity. Example: a child paints because they enjoy painting, not for rewards. It leads to long-term satisfaction and deeper learning. Extrinsic motivation comes from outside the individual, driven by rewards, recognition, grades, or avoiding punishment. Example: a student studies to win a scholarship or avoid failure. Often useful for short-term goals but may not lead to deep engagement. Other types of motivation. Besides the basic classification, motivation can also be categorized as biological motivation. Based on physical needs like hunger, thirst, sleep, essential for survival. Social motivation involves needs related to relationships, recognition, status. Example: a person works hard to gain social approval. Achievement motivation focused on personal success and competence. Example: entrepreneurs often have high achievement motivation. Affiliation motivation driven by the need to form social bonds and relationships. People join clubs or groups to satisfy this. Power motivation related to the desire to influence or control others. Common in leadership or managerial roles. Each type interacts with others and can vary depending on the situation and personality. Theories related to motivation. Brief overview. Some well-known theories help explain motivation. Maslow's hierarchy of needs explains motivation through a pyramid of needs, from basic physiological needs to self-actualization. Hertzberg's two-factor theory differentiates between hygiene factors that prevent dissatisfaction and motivators that encourage satisfaction. McClelland's theory of needs focuses on the need for achievement, power, and affiliation. These theories show that motivation is multidimensional and dynamic. Conclusion: motivation is essential for initiating, directing, and maintaining human behavior. It influences everything from basic survival to complex achievements. By understanding different types of motivation and their functions, we can apply this knowledge in education, work, therapy, and personal growth. It is one of the most powerful tools in psychology to understand behavior. If you need the notes of this video, there's a download link in the description box. Be sure to check it out. Thank you. Let's see the next question. Question 7. Explain the concept and types of emotions. Question explanation. This question asks us to define what emotion means and then describe the different types of emotions. It may also require brief reference to basic emotional categories such as primary and secondary emotions. The answer should show an understanding of the nature and classification of emotional experiences. Answer. Introduction. Emotions are complex psychological states that involve three distinct components: a subjective experience, a physiological response, and a behavioral or expressive response. They are a vital part of human life and influence thoughts, behavior, and relationships. The study of emotions is essential in psychology as it helps us understand how people react to different situations. Emotions can be categorized into various types depending on their origin, intensity, and expression. Main body. 1. Concept of emotions. Definition. Emotions are reactions to internal or external events that have a particular significance for an individual. They include feelings such as happiness, sadness, anger, fear, and surprise. Components of emotion. Subjective experience. The personal feeling of the emotion, example, feeling happy or scared. Physiological response. Changes in the body like heart rate, sweating, or hormonal shifts. Behavioral expression. Observable actions like facial expressions, body posture, or tone of voice. Though. Classification of emotions. Psychologists have attempted to classify emotions based on various criteria like origin, intensity, and universality. Two main types are commonly discussed. A. Primary, basic, emotions. These are universal and biologically hardwired emotions found in all humans. According to psychologist Paul Ekman, the 6 basic emotions are happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, disgust. These emotions are easily recognized through facial expressions and are common across cultures. B. Secondary emotions. These emotions are more complex and are influenced by social and cultural learning. They include feelings like guilt, shame, embarrassment, pride, jealousy. These emotions often require self-awareness and an understanding of social norms. Teen. Positive and negative emotions. Another way to classify emotions is by their valence, positive or negative. A. Positive emotions. Examples include joy, love, excitement, and gratitude. They contribute to mental well-being and healthy social interactions. B. Negative emotions. Examples include anger, fear, sadness, and anxiety. These are not bad, but serve adaptive purposes like protecting oneself or signaling a problem. 4. Cultural and individual differences. Culture, expression and interpretation of emotions vary across cultures. For instance, some cultures encourage emotional restraint, while others are more expressive. Individual differences. Personality traits, upbringing, and life experiences can influence how a person experiences and expresses emotions. Conclusion. Emotions are essential elements of human psychology that help individuals react, adapt, and build relationships. By understanding the types of emotions, basic, complex, positive, and negative, we gain insight into human behavior. Recognizing cultural and individual differences is also crucial for a complete understanding of emotions. If you need the notes of this video, there's a download link in the description box. Be sure to check it out. Thank you. Let's see the next question. Question 8. Discuss the theories of emotion. Question explanation. This question asks you to explain different psychological theories that attempt to describe how emotions are formed and experienced. You are expected to cover major theories like James Lange, Cannon-Bard, Schachter-Singer, two-factor theory, and cognitive appraisal theory. The focus should be on how each theory explains the connection between physiological responses, cognition, and emotional experience. Answer. Introduction. Emotion is a complex psychological state that involves 3 key components: subjective experience, physiological response, and behavioral expression. Understanding how emotions arise has been a major concern for psychologists. Several theories have been proposed to explain the origin and experience of emotions. In this answer, we will explore 4 major theories of emotion: James Lange theory, Cannon-Bard theory, Schachter-Singer, two-factor theory, and Lazarus's cognitive appraisal theory. Main body. 1. James Lange theory of emotion. Proposed by William James and Carl Lange in the late 19th century. This theory suggests that emotions occur as a result of physiological reactions to events. Key idea. We feel afraid because we tremble. For example, if we see a snake, our body first responds with increased heart rate, and then we interpret this physical reaction as fear. Criticism. This theory was criticized for ignoring the role of cognition and suggesting a one-way relationship. 2. Cannon-Bard theory of emotion. Proposed by Walter Cannon and Philip Bard in response to the James Lange theory. According to this theory, physiological arousal and emotional experience occur simultaneously and independently. Key idea. We tremble and feel afraid at the same time. Example. Seeing a snake leads to simultaneous fear and increased heart rate. This theory highlights the role of the thalamus in relaying emotional signals to the brain and body. Teen. Schachter-Singer two-factor theory. Also known as the cognitive arousal theory, developed by Stanley Schachter and Jerome Singer. It emphasizes that emotion is based on 2 components: physiological arousal and cognitive interpretation of that arousal. Key idea. Emotion equals arousal plus label. Example. If your heart is racing and you label the situation as dangerous, you feel fear. But the same arousal in a happy context, example, seeing a friend after years, may be labeled as joy. This theory suggests that context and interpretation play a big role in emotional experience. 4. Lazarus's cognitive appraisal theory. Proposed by Richard Lazarus, this theory emphasizes the role of thought in the emotional process. According to this model, emotions arise after we assess or appraise a situation. Key idea. Cognition comes before emotion. Example. If we evaluate a job interview as threatening, we may feel anxious. But if we see it as a challenge, we may feel excited. This theory integrates both cognitive and emotional processes. Conclusion. Emotions are essential to human experience, and different theories provide different lenses to understand how emotions arise. While physiological theories like James Lange focus on body reactions, cognitive theories like Schachter, Singer, and Lazarus emphasize interpretation and context. Each theory contributes valuable insights, and together, they enrich our understanding of emotional processes. Before we end, please like, share and subscribe the channel. And one very important information: if you want notes, check the download link in the description box. Thank you.